Americans, your deaths await you. Here, you are once again a nation divided. Only this time, you will fall. With a little help, if necessary. Out of shape! Your democratic ideals will be your undoing once your own people turn against you. Did you really think it would be that easy? До свидания.
Keep attacking. You'll disrupt his cloaking. His cloaking field is down. Get him.
Go on. Give me a pretty speech.
I'm on it.
These mini-sentry guns will give you something new to think about.
I hope you learned something.
Registration Act will be passed by your cowardly leaders. And you will become criminals! Swallow them, my God!
You should have thought this through. Aw, I was just getting warmed up.
They cannot harm what they cannot see.
Can I get a little help over here?
Brains go wrong every time.
I'll grind you into dust. When this is done, no one will ever trust you heroes again.
Dance.
Plenty of time for you to chill out.
No! You think you've won, but you haven't. You'll soon see. You have already lost everything.
And so, to answer your question, Mr. Senator, in spite of these recent events, I don't believe forcing superheroes to register with the government is the answer. This law would split the hero community right down the middle, with consequences I'm not sure any of us want to ponder.
Hey, Mr. Stark! Mr. Stark!
Was that really your best shot?
Sneaking around doesn't become you, Steve.
Maybe I'll need to practice. Maybe we all will.
Don't be so melodramatic. This whole thing would affect you least of all. You're already deputized.
You almost sound like you agree with them. This Registration Act would tear down everything we've done, destroy a century-old tradition of...
I'm trying to save it, Steve. As much of it as I can, anyway. Don't you see where this is headed? All it's going to take is one more slip-up by anyone in a cape, and we'll be lucky if registration is the worst they do. They could just turn us all into criminals, hunt us all down.
No, they won't, Tony. Not in my country.
Now return to our special live episode of The New Warriors, coming to you straight from Stamford, Connecticut, where the Warriors have just been spotted by their supervillain quarry. Looks like it's on.
I've got cold heart, you guys. Hey, somebody snag Nitro. He's rabbiting.
Don't worry, Speedball. I'm on it. On your feet, Nitro, and don't bother trying any of your stupid exploding tricks.
Oh, baby, don't you even know? You're playing with the big boys now.
Reports now coming in from Stamford, Connecticut indicate a massive explosion in a residential neighborhood.
Just over 12 hours ago now, and preliminary casualties are said to be over 600. In Washington, rumblings on whether superhero reform should be brought to the table.
Following last week's devastating explosion, Congress has rushed through passage of the Superhuman Registration Act, with the president expected to sign it.
This is just completely insane, Hill. I won't do it.
I'm sorry, was it not clear I was giving you an order?
You're asking me to arrest people who risk their lives for this country every day.
No, I'm ordering you to obey the will of the American people, Captain. Either you help us bring them in, or we'll bring you in.
Weapons down, gentlemen. Or I...
Trank darts, now! Take him down! Take him down!
Keep us moving, son, if you want to stay conscious.
You idiot. We were trying to save lives.
Of all the people to go underground, Captain America. Now every superhero who disagrees with the act suddenly has a leader. Maybe we should hold off until...
That won't be necessary, Mr. President. Registration can go forward as planned. We'll take care of Captain America.
And with the passage of the Superhuman Registration Act earlier this week, superheroes around the country are being forced to choose a side. Do they register with the government to uphold the law, or become part of an underground resistance movement? So far...
Can you believe this is really going down? The act kicks in at midnight, but word is S.H.I.E.L.D's gonna be here sooner than that, taking signatures. Or prisoners. I want to talk to Cage about it, but he's too busy arguing with Mr. Fantastic over there. Maybe you can break into their little powwow and get some sense out of them.
Dr. Pym, that very nanite sample has just arrived for you from the Baxter building.
The acting commander will be here any minute. Look sharp.
Understand your skepticism, Luke, but you have to believe me. I've crunched the numbers, and we absolutely can't rebel against the government on this. If we do, the consequences...
Can't be any worse than burning the Constitution.
You're exaggerating. This is a temporary measure. Once things settle down...
I ain't buying it, Reed. And I can't believe somebody as brainy as you would.
Oh, hello. Good timing. Perhaps you can talk some sense into Mr. Cage here. He and Iron Fist seem determined to get arrested.
He's the one who needs a reality check. But good luck getting anywhere with that.
The Registration Act.
Hope things don't get out of hand.
With the Superhuman Registration Act looking likely to pass within the week, we recently sat down with one of its most surprising critics, Captain America.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Our pleasure. Captain, in the wake of the Stamford tragedy, the public overwhelmingly favors mandatory registration for all superhumans. Can millions of Americans be wrong?
Unfortunately, they can, Brian. Our country's history is littered with wrongs that most Americans approved of at the time. Slavery, the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II, the McCarthy hearings.
But how do you deal with it, knowing that nearly everyone is against you on this?
I think of what Mark Twain wrote on the subject. If you alone of all the nation shall decide one way, and that way be the right way according to your convictions, you have done your duty by yourself and by your country.
An inspiring quote.
Absolutely. When the mob and the press and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the whole world, no, you move.
Security, prepare to receive inbound
Hey,
shield.
good times, huh? I can. The government's always wanted to take us down a peg. Now they see their chance. But Cap showed us what we need to do. I mean doing whatever it takes to keep S.H.I.E.L.D. from taking over. That's what this is all about. Between you and me, I hope so. I have no intention of registering. And we're gonna need a leader. Open your eyes. Powerful people are using a tragedy to take over. Cap sees that. If you had any sense, you'd see it too. Look, personal freedom is what Cap's fighting for. This is your choice to make. I know which way I'm going. Hopefully you do too.
Are you sure you can get us to Cap without leading them right to him?
Got it covered. You just stick with me.
But what about the rest? How can we convince...
They're gonna have to make their own choice. Stark, Richards, and Songbird are obviously a lost cause. But maybe. Well, well, speak of the devil. So you folks made up your minds yet?
From what I hear, they ain't gonna give you much more time to sit on the fence. I ain't no government puppet, and I assume you feel the same way. There are worse things you could do than risk jail time to do the right thing. Glad to hear it. We're gonna need some real heroes to get through this thing. With Cap in charge, as long as it takes. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're either with us or against us. Okay, look, I hope you make the right choice. We could use your help.
Warning. Security upgrades are complete.
You come to a decision yet?
Any superhuman personnel listed as unregistered will be treated by the building security.
For now, yeah, it is. Stanford would never have happened if superheroes had proper oversight. We already trust them with the cops and the military. Bottom line, we need checks and balances. Otherwise, more kids are gonna get killed. No one's got a better reason to be paranoid than I do. And I'm telling you, this is the way it's gotta go. Let's not start playing what if. What happened, happened. All we can do now is try to make sure it doesn't happen again. Look, I can't make the decision for you. Just remember, we're supposed to protect people. Signing up for training and accountability is the best way to do that.
And so, in a worst-case scenario, we'd find ourselves in the equivalent of a superpowered civil war.
Heroes so busy fighting each other, the criminals get a free pass.
Exactly. That's where you and the Thunderbolts would come in, Melissa. We need you to help S.H.I.E.L.D. keep crime under control while we focus on... Oh, hello again. I'm glad to see you're not going off half-cocked like Luke, Danny, and Eli over there seem to be. We need cooler heads to prevail at a time like this. There's morality and there's practicality. I may have personal issues with the act, but I also have hard evidence that if we rebel against it, the entire world's future will be imperiled. So, there's really only one sane choice here. Perhaps. But I'd recommend you very carefully consider the consequences of your decision on this. I'm not sure that's been determined. Incarceration, most likely. Those who violently resist might accidentally be harmed. I'm not in charge of that, of course, but that's what I'm hearing. Not a pleasant thought. I wish I could spend more time with you, but unfortunately, there's a lot to do. Talk to you soon.
Reed, I'm trying, but I just can't follow these equations.
I'd be surprised if you could, Tony. They're a new form of science I invented, actually. A way to predict future trends by mathematically modeling past events.
Really? How reliable?
Very. I've been using it to predict general trends for years.
And what are they showing you now?
A series of societal earthquakes. Conflicts beyond anything that's ever happened. The death of billions.
My God.
I ran the numbers again and again. I found no force that could be applied anywhere to make a better outcome until...
The Registration Act.
Yes. That's the first part. Other actions will be necessary, in the right order, at the right times.
Actions that will turn us against our friends. Change everything we know.
I'm well aware of that, Tony. But the alternatives are much, much worse.
Whoever said saving the world would be easy, huh? All right, Reed. Walk me through the numbers. And take it slow.
Listed as unregistered will be treated by the building security systems as hostile.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Reed Richards.
Please leave your message at the tone.
Yeah, hey Reed, this is Ben.
Look, I can't do this. Lord knows I've followed you into some pretty crazy places over the years, but somehow this is one place I can't go. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Registration's wrong, and I won't support a law I don't believe in, but I'm still a patriot. I ain't gonna fight my own government, so the way I see it, that leaves me only one choice. I'm out. Going underground till this thing blows over. Don't bother trying to find me.
All superhumans, the Registration Act is in effect. You are now required to meet with Commander Hill and register your identity with S.H.I.E.L.D.
On the eve of the Registration Act going into effect, the grim work of identifying all the Stanford victims continues. An official list of confirmed dead is not expected to be completed for weeks.
The acting commander will be here any minute. Look sharp.
I'm glad to see you're willing to meet with me on civil terms. Once you register, I'm sure we'll have a productive relationship. The paperwork is right here. Step up and sign, please. With Stark tech and S.H.I.E.L.D. muscle backing you up? Count on it. So, what's it gonna be, heroes? Just sign up here and you'll be bona fide law enforcement agents. You're not looking to start trouble, are you? Smart move. I'm glad to see you're going through with registration. Congratulations on making the right choice, heroes. The only one you really had. I'll look forward to working with you.
No! How could you? Cage told me I should have left with him and Iron Fist, but I didn't believe you'd do this! You damn traitors!
Well, looks like your first assignment just walked through the door. Either convince that idiot to register, or take him down.
Look, Patriot, we don't want to hurt you. We all have to register so that...
Shut up! There's nothing you can say to make me join you. This is for Cap! Plenty more stars where those came from.
I can be a bit cold.
Long as the jet clears.
think I wanted to be like usually I charge.
An unfortunate introduction to government service for you. I'm sorry it had to come to that. Cage and Iron Fist refused to sign and escaped, and they're apparently not alone. I'm just glad you made the correct decision. Let's head back into the main area. We're gonna have our hands full, I expect, and I'm sure Tony will want to thank you personally once he gets back from Washington.
I don't need to tell you that you've made the right choice. You're here. And that means you understand the reality of our situation. You know what we're up against. Who we're up against. We simply can't restore the public's faith in us, while Captain America and his recruits are still playing by the old rules.
SHIELD is going to use their expanded authority to keep supervillain activity in check. That leaves us with responsibility for dealing with the rogue heroes.
We need to act decisively to end this fast. We have a few leads, and may be close to identifying one or more locations being used as hideouts by the rebels. Come back here later. By then, we should have something more solid.